Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host Chris, or CDB, and today we're going to do something interesting. We're going to have fun using the Cube. I saw Paul H. using the Cube alone for shaving the other day, and we'll talk a little bit about the Cube in a moment. So we're going to use that to shave with, just like Paul H. We're going to be using the Voskhod blades in leaf for a dome shave with our AP Shave Co. White Wizard with the Cashmere 30mm knot, which is one of my favorite brushes. I absolutely love it. So we're going to go ahead and snap the Voskhod. And I always recommend that you snap the blade in the wrapper, and that minimizes the chance for you cutting yourself. And the reason I'm doing this on cam, and the reason I'm using Voskhod, is because Stephen Davidson was using the leaf in his shave the other day. And he really appreciated Voskhod. So let's go for it. You know, why not? I haven't tried this blade in the leaf. And as you know, I really enjoy the leaf for head shaving. I think it's a terrific head shaving razor. Many people are recognizing that. So I'm very happy for all of you who are enjoying the leaf for your head shaves. Again, I always want to give credit to Chris Madden, or Maiden. I always say his name wrong. Sorry, Chris, because he's the first one I saw using the leaf on the dome, and it actually just never occurred to me. And then I'm like, wow, this is a really good head shaving razor. So if we can ever get the blades out of the package, we'll get them loaded in. We're going to put 3 blades in, and we will tighten it down, and there we are loaded up. I just put my finger on there to hold it, tighten it from the back. And we were ready to start applying some moisture to the dome. So we're going to try a couple of things today. As I said, we're going to use the Cube, which should be awesome. By the way, the Cube is pretty doggone big. It's 8 ounces of soap. That is a lot of soap in the Cube format. You can also buy this dock that goes with it, which is pretty cool. You just set it on there, sort of like a coaster, which is pretty awesome. But anyway, in this 8 ounce for $6.95. Great price, I think. There's glycerin, activated bamboo charcoal, jojoba, aloe vera. I'll put the rest of the ingredients there for a moment while I mist a little more on the dome. Okay, and I will wet the Cube. And we're just going to start rubbing it in and make sure we get a nice, decent load. And this should be interesting. Again, I saw Paul H. He used this for a face shave, and it did great. And so I'm expecting that it's going to work well for the dome. And I hope you'll stay with me, even if you're not a head shaver, because this should be interesting. The one thing I'll tell you, and all my bald brothers who shave their head know this. If you shave your face and you think it's difficult, the head is probably twice as difficult. Not that it's not rocket science, don't get me wrong. But there is some challenges, you know, a lot of curves, contours, imperfections, bumps, you know, you name it. The other thing I'm going to do today is sort of Doug Bearish. But so there's not much scent in this. What I'm going to do, and Doug Smythe is probably not going to like this. I want to take some of this Booster Splash and just put it in my bowl here, just a little bit. A couple of splashes there. And I'm going to wet the tips of my brush in that splash. Now, Doug Smythe is probably thinking right now, you're going to kill any lathering capability of the Cube. We shall see. We shall see. But what I have done is added some scent to it, which is that Booster Lime. Doesn't hang around. Very, you know, I think it was inexpensive. I can't remember, actually. But as you can see, it's not affecting the lather making capability of the Cube. Wow, this Cube. This might be some underrated stuff, actually. I know a lot of people really enjoy it. You know, I only unwrapped it yesterday, and so I used it as a pre-shave for something. I can't recall. The shave, actually. But anyway, it certainly has no problem lathering. Let's add some moisture. Bring a little moisture to the party. I expect this to go well, actually. I'm going to add a little bit more of that Booster scent. And again, I realize Douglas is probably cringing every time I do that, but it's working. And that's all that matters as far as I'm concerned. You know, and again, we're interested in a performing lather. We don't give a hoot what it looks like. All right. Sure, I get back there. All right. Okay, so let's set that aside and get going with our leaf. This cube might be one of the best kept secrets in wet shaving. Who knows? First few strokes with the Voskhod. Feeling pretty good. Again, I caution you, pull your ears down when you're going around them, when you're a head shaver. I have nicked my ears a few times, not necessarily with the leaf, but just generally. I need to get a cloth to wipe my hands on. I always like to trim around my ears first. It's just my method. Sort of like to get it out of the way, because it's kind of a pain. That's just the way I do it. Everybody sort of has their sequence of strokes and how they do things and so on. And that, of course, is entirely okay. And I must say, Stephen Davidson feels pretty doggone smooth so far. Honestly, a Voskhod, or Voskhod, depending on who you ask, maybe Alexander Oive can tell me, because I think he's originally from, well, actually, is Voskhod Polish? I can't remember. I can't remember whether it's Russian or Polish, so forget it, Oive. But if you do know, let me know. Anyway, I don't know how to actually pronounce it, to be honest with you. But it's pretty smooth so far. So that's good. That's what we're after anytime we're shaving. We're after smooth. Smooth to me is, the most important attribute in a blade of any sort. Be it a straight razor blade. Obviously it has to be, let's be honest. If it's not sharp, it's not going to be smooth. So, let's just get that out of the way from the get-go. It's probably not possible for a dull blade to be very smooth because it's not going to be cutting well, it's going to be tuggy. So, to me, generally speaking, my general philosophy is a smooth blade is sharp by default. That's the way I look at it. Now, some will argue you can make, sharper blades not quite as smooth and all that. That's okay. But I want a smooth blade that does a good job cutting. And so far, this is doing the trick. Feeling quite good. So that's precisely what I'm after. Feeling very nice. Again, you do have to use care with the leaf. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's a glorified cart. It is not a cart. It has features like a cart, the pivot. But it's not a cart. And you can open up bumps or cuts or whatever, or imperfections. Or if you do the wrong thing with it, you can be cut. Just like you can with any razor. But for me, as far as DE razors or razors that use DE blades go, it's my preferred head shaver. It just works the best for me. You may not find that to be the case for you. That is always the case, where your mileage may vary and all the things that we always say. Because there really is no one piece of software or hardware that works the best for everyone. I will say the Cube is doing its job. It's plenty slick enough. Feeling quite good. Honestly, after seeing Paul H, it's what I expected. I expected it to be good and provide for a good shave. I mean, this is an incredible value, actually. $8.95 for a half a pound. I think it's 8 ounces, half a pound. I think so. Pretty doggone good. It's working well. Just slick that back a little bit. Just finish up our first pass here. And not surprisingly, the leaf is doing well. And the freaking Cube. Wow. Paul H, if you see this, which I don't know that Paul H catches a lot of my videos, but it's a good idea. And I love adding a little bit of this booster via the Doug Bear. Like, it's not exactly the Doug Bear method where he's frothing and then adding the splash to the froth, but I just sort of add directly to my brush, and it's giving this a little bit of scent, which is cool. And as you can see, there's plenty of lather in the brush, so we're not going to run out of lather. what a tremendous value this cube is. So I hope Douglas doesn't see this and raise the price. I wouldn't think he would. I mean, but this is honestly, in its own right, quite a good soap. I mean, I know it's a pre-shave, but let's be honest. This is working well for a shaving soap, a regular shaving soap. And so, sometimes we get so geeky with our shaving, and you gotta have the super blue emu and the dragon tallow and the unicorn milk and it doesn't have this or that. And I'm telling you, what we need and what we carry on about are sometimes two different things. And I think something like this cube, which is very affordable at $6.95, it's working very well. And so, sometimes I think we get carried away on shave soap worship, because something like this is just, honestly, it's checking all the marks in terms of performance. Now, there's really no scent in it, but I've added a scent, so, that's great. I need to get a cloth, but I don't really want to stop the video, so I probably won't. But it's checking all the boxes in terms of performance on the dome here. And trust me, if you think you need slickness on the face, you really do on the dome. And for you guys who, sometimes crack on us, we folks with the bald kit. So the bald kit is the mustache and goatee, because otherwise we look like a tomato with no hair on our face. Or at least I do. And so that's the reason we generally grow the mustache and goatee, is to break up the face a little bit so it's not big one chunk of, flesh. But anyway, what I was trying to say here is, for you guys who have hair, who crack on those of us who have a goatee, if we also happen to be bald, we're more than making up for it. Because I'm telling you, the years that I shaved the mustache and my chin, I never cut myself, not one single time on my mustache or the chin. But I have cut myself on the head. It's way more curvy and difficult to shave, quite frankly. Now, I will say your upper lip is more sensitive. That is true, but I never cut myself in the stash area, nor on my chin in all the years I shaved that area, which was quite a few. The head is more difficult. It is, in my opinion, as far as on your face, the most difficult part of your, if you want to consider the head part of the face. But let's put it this way. Above your shoulders, it's the most difficult thing to shave. Johan has been on me about shaving my head with the shavette, and I've been practicing off cam. So we'll do that eventually, and there probably will be blood. And I'm going to use alum block just so I can prove that you don't have to screech when you use alum block on your head. I love it when Johan makes that sound when he uses the alum block on his head after he uses shave that. It's just funny, and I enjoy the heck out of it. Of course, he's an enjoyable guy to watch generally. He has fun. He's a shave geek, but he doesn't always get mired down in the shave geekery. And I think sometimes all of us, myself included, so I point fingers squarely at myself when I say sometimes we get too deep in the shave geekery to the point where it's, it can be, I don't want to say off-putting, but just enjoy the shave. That's really the main thing. And so when you get so mired down in shave geekery, it's like, it doesn't have the super blue emu and it's like, come on. Do you really need it? Some people do, maybe. But honestly, we do a lot of fawning over stuff sometimes that I think it's mostly to justify the price of what we're paying. We're buying super expensive gear and then like, oh yeah, best soap ever. Of course it is. But I'm going to tell you right now, this stuff right here, for $6.95, I assure you, then you can get a really good shave out of it. What sort of post does it lend? I don't know, but I don't care. Again, that's not important to me. And honestly, if I were really concerned about post, I'd get a balm. You know? Because I think a really good balm is going to handle all your post needs. So you wouldn't even have to worry about the shaving soap. So, you know, if post was really my concern, then I'd just get a balm. But not a concern of mine. All right, man. Honestly, I must be honest. I shaved the dome for, is it 3 years now? I can't remember. I think so. And this cube, it feels as good as any soap I've used on my head. I mean, performance-wise, just, you know, allowing that razor to glide and do the things it's supposed to do. $6.95. I don't know why I'm surprised and chuckling at it. I mean, it really shouldn't be a surprise. I'm telling you, we dramatically overstate the importance of some of these soaps. That is not to say they're not good. That is not what I mean, but the necessity, I should say. We dramatically sometimes overplay the necessity for some of these ingredients in soaps, as I see it. You know, me. Because I'm telling you right now, this cube, you saw Paul H. Now you've seen me shave the dome with it. It's good. And quite frankly, it's good as anything else for shaving my head. I mean, that I've used, you know. Wow. And the Leaf, you know, continues to be just an outstanding head shaving razor. I really enjoy it, and I'm so thankful to Chris Maiden for turning me on to it. So thank you very much, Chris, if you see this. But man, oh man, the Cube with some booster lime. Great combination. This does not affect the lathering capability of the Cube at all. I'm not going to go through the whole process of the post, but I'm going to tell you this. This Cube might be one of the best values in shaving. Don't raise the price, Douglas. Don't raise the price. This is nice. And maybe, you know, maybe Douglas will come out with Cube 3.0 with even more, you know, ingredients in. I mean, to me, this is all you need. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Smooth, no cuts, creepers, weepers, irritation. Look at that. Woo. Throw my shoulder, throw my rotator cuff. Woo. You know. I mean, that's a good head shave. That's a great head shave. Wow. The Cube. I mean, it's pretty awesome. That's all there is to say. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way. Maybe try the Cube because it's pretty freaking awesome. Until next time, God bless.